Valérie Murat's father James was a winemaker in the Bordeaux region for more than 40 years. In 2010, he was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. He passed away 2 years later. His doctors concluded it was caused by the pesticides he had used on the vines.
That was when we realized they were dangerous, much too late. Once he was ill, we discovered that his pathology had been associated with sodium arsenic, a pesticide he used, also used by the French health insurance system since 1955. So they knew it was dangerous since 1955.
Sodium arsenic was banned in 2001, but Valérie believes other chemicals still used on vines here are just as dangerous, especially glyphosate. A quarter of all glyphosate in France is used in the wine industry, despite it accounting for only 6% of the country's agriculture. Valérie says industry bodies have put pressure on winemakers to use pesticides while covering up the potential dangers.
Si bien qu'ils se sentent obligés.
They feel obliged to use pesticides to protect their harvest, and we can understand the farmers. They just want to protect their crop from disease. They want a good yield because this is intensive agriculture. In the Bordeaux region, winemakers are pushed to produce a lot, and the way to produce a lot is to use pesticides.
That is starting to change. Here in Castillon, the local wine label is already a leader in organic agriculture. A quarter of vineyards here are already organic. But the major farming unions say it's unrealistic to expect all farmers to make the switch, and that if glyphosate is banned, many will simply go out of business.
We've been using glyphosate for 30 years and it's changed the way we grow crops. So many farmers have learned to farm differently because they have this tool. And the idea of going backwards would be hugely punishing for us, both economically for the farmers and also actually for the environment.
The French government is hedging its bets, recommending glyphosate be reauthorised for 3 years rather than the industry's preferred 5, in a compromise that pleases neither farmers that use glyphosate nor those who want to see it banned. Elena Casas, TRT World, Castillon, France.
So let's go to Brussels now for more on that decision, and joining us from there is Jack Parrott. Great to have you, Jack. What swayed countries to vote for an extension of the glyphosate licence, Jack?
Well, the reality is a looming lawsuit that would have come had they not have managed to do so. If they hadn't have agreed in this appeals council to extend the licence for glyphosate to be used in the European Union for the next 5 years, they would have had only until the 15th of December to push some kind of agreement through. Had they not have had to do that, then the Commission itself, the executive body of the European Commission, of the European Union, would have had to have come to some agreement to just push it through without the agreement of the 28 member states, which decided today in a qualified majority to extend it. And if they hadn't have managed to do that, and if the European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker hadn't have rubber-stamped it through, which he said he didn't really want to do, then the big players, Monsanto and other farming bodies, would have probably taken the European Commission to court, saying that they need this product in order to continue their farming practices. It's a bit of a messy way of getting this through, and it certainly doesn't really please anyone, because the farmers wanted this to go through for 15 years, as did countries like the UK and the Netherlands. And on the other side, those who want glyphosate banned aren't pleased because it's got a 15-year extension.
Right.
It's kicking the can down the road, but for a lot of people, they'll be pleased that at least some decision has now been made.
Right. So what's been the reaction amongst people who've been opposing the extension of this licence at all?
Well, they're furious. Organisations like Greenpeace, for instance, said that the European Union has ignored the health of its citizens and instead favoured a decision for fear of lawsuits coming from big multinational corporations. They are very unhappy. The European Parliament voted to see glyphosate phased out, but the pressure and the lobby from the farmers and from a lot of scientific bodies, the studies from scientific bodies that the companies like Monsanto are using to move forward on this, they say simply that they have to be able to use this product, and for 5 more years from December the 15th they will be able to.
Right, so once again we're seeing the effect of large corporations swaying public policy at the highest levels in Europe. But is this the end of the fight against glyphosate in Europe, or is there more to come?
For 5 years, the glyphosate licence will be renewed, but it won't end the political fight. Those who oppose it will try and get it a hard ending after that 5-year period, so that it can no longer be used after that.
All right, I'm afraid we are out of time, but Jack Parrock in Brussels, thank you so much.